Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for FreddyLit. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, full playthrough, tier list ranking, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And excuse the background noise. There's stuff being edited on the computer, there's AC, there's all sorts of stuff going around, so. But FreddyLit wanted me to look at a 2009 film called Ink, which I had heard of this film. The reason I had heard of it is because a piece of music from this movie was used in another bigger budgeted production called The Gray with Liam Neeson. And there's a track from that film called Into the Fray, which I thought was a really good piece of music. And then come to find out, wait, this piece of music is from this movie. I can't remember if it's the same composer or something else. I can't remember, but yeah, a piece of music in this was in that film. Now, this is one of those movies that I do appreciate its ambition in terms of what it's trying to do with the story. That's trying to tell a story about dreams, and it's trying to build, I wouldn't say mythology, but it's trying to build a bit of a world and kind of be outside the norm and what it's trying to tell, and it's trying to tell a deeper story about regret and things of that nature. I don't think it's entirely successful. Not just because of the lack of budget, but the acting isn't that great. The visual aspect I thought was really ugly to watch. Really ugly on the eyes. I think the visual palette was... I thought it was more of a disservice than a positive. I thought it looked ugly as shit. Is what I'm getting at. It was like, I don't even want to look at it anymore. Just ugly. Because what the director decided to do, because he wanted to create this dreamlike state for all of it, because it's very much about dreams. I mean, the plot of the film, the end of that is, you have this guy named John. He's a businessman. He's upset about something. One thing leads to another. He's in his car. He gets hit. Then it flashes to a dream he had with his kid, Emma, where she's scared of monsters, imaginary monsters, and wants her dad to help, and eventually he decides to help, and they're playful with each other. Then it leads to this. The setup is that long ago, his wife, her mom, died. He was very much an alcoholic, and eventually, not just alcoholic, but busy with work. Eventually, the daughter, Emma, was sent to live with the grandparents. This stuff we find out later in the film. Emma is sleeping one night, and this figure with this goofy-looking, silly, long nose that is so big he could fuck himself while staying. I mean, he could literally just bend over and fuck himself with his own nose. Like that. I mean, it's bigger than I'm sure any dildo you could think of. It's goofy and silly, and if he sneezed, it would kill the whole city. It was distracting, honestly. At least to me, it just looked goofy and silly and laughable to me, at least. He wears this kind of cloak. He's trying to kidnap the girl. And then in this world, in dreams, there are the good guys called storytellers. And there's the bad guys. I forget what the hell they're called. I'll call them the emos. Just because. Like good spirits, bad spirits. The good spirits will give you sweet dreams. Are made of these. The bad ones give you nightmares. And then there's ones in the middle that kind of don't go for either side. This guy named Ink with the big nose kidnaps Emma. The good guys, storytellers, are trying to fight him, and the fight scenes in this are fucking atrocious. I hate the fight scenes because what the director does with the fight scenes is they're edited like Taken 2 or Taken 3 with Liam Neeson, speaking of Liam Neeson. Like those sequels, or maybe like Columbiana, like that era of filmmaking where the action fight scenes, one move, in the middle of one move, it'll be 15 edits. Every 0.5 milliseconds, there's a cut, there's an edit. When I say the word, it's not even a word, the sound of it, imagine a cut to a different angle, or a cut, so, it just, I hate that kind of style. Editing is trying to give the illusion of a lot is happening when it's just a simple punch or throw, but you edited in 15 different ways in the span of a few seconds. So you try to give it some kind of visual kinetic energy when in essence it's just making me mad. It's pissing me off because it's just distracting. It's aggravating. At times it gives me a fucking migraine to watch it. So these fight scenes become discombobulating to the fact I can't tell what the hell's going on. And that's not the kind of fight scenes I like. Thankfully, we've kind of gone away from that. When I see films of recent years, some of the John Wick films, Nobody, even Violent Night, even Fight or Flight with Josh Hartnett, Bullet Train, we've gone a little bit away from that, and the fight scenes are, you could actually understand what's going on. But this has that, I always think of the films Taken, like Olivier Megaton. He did Taken 2, Taken 3. He might have even done Columbiana. I can't remember. He was a director that did that kind of stuff, and I hated that type of action. So the fight scenes, I couldn't enjoy them because of how schizophrenic the editing is. Way too quick, way too fast. Can't tell what's going on. Eventually he fights a lot of the good guys, gets away. So you have to figure out how to find her. The figure Inc., the reason he has this girl is because he wants to go to the area where all the bad guys are at. And he needs some codes to get there. So he goes to meet one person to get a code, then he meets another person to get a code, and then to twist and turn all this, he's able to enter where the bad guy's lair is at, that dimension, that part of the dream world, the spirit world, however the dream landscape, however you want to put it, because he wants to barter, because he wants to be one of the bad guys. He's tired of being in the middle, kind of like being in purgatory. He wants to choose a side, so he's choosing that side. The good guys find this blind guy who's got kind of black tape as X's on his eyes, named Jacob. He's named the Pathfinder. This is one girl named Leave who is trying to get to the girl, gets captured by Inc., and then she's kind of a prisoner for a chunk of the way. The dad, John, at times he becomes, even, I mean, how do I put it? When we see the father, John, there are times where he's not in the film a whole lot. So I just don't think his character comes off as, I don't want to say as important. I don't know. His screen time seems to be a bit inconsistent and also very unlikable of a character. And I know that's the point because of revelations we find out. When I'll get into spoilers. Let me put it this way. If you're a father and I don't care if he's a father-in-law or not, your father-in-law says, hey, your daughter's in a coma. If you don't drop anything and go straight to your daughter's bedside when you find out that your daughter's in a fucking coma, you're irredeemable to me. You are. You are irredeemable. You have this little girl your daughter, she's in a coma, and you're like, no, I'm busy. So you find out that she's hurt, pain, whatever, in the hospital, and on top of that, in a fucking coma. It's one thing she's in a hospital. It's another thing when she's in a fucking coma, you still don't want to go see her. You're irredeemable. You are irredeemable. And it's not like he makes the choice to go there either. Literally, the Jacob guy has to use the Force and use the Rube Goldberg mechanic. What's Rube Goldberg? When one thing hits another, then it hits another, and it hits another. Like the Final Destination movies, how those death scenes work. That's Rube Goldberg method. That's how this guy does it here. And he traced the car crash we see at the beginning. So that the father gets to the hospital, he wakes up in the hospital, and, I guess I'll go see my daughter since I'm in the hospital too. Kids, let me get into spoilers. Spoiler alert, you find out that Ink is the dad. But the dad from a future where he was in the car accident. And he did keep going in his car. And he never went to see his daughter. And his daughter died in the coma. And then he drank more and more. And then he shot himself in the head. And then when he went to the purgatory, whatever, he became this figure with the long nose. I don't know why he has the long nose. Just because. I don't know. But then he lost his memory. And then when the leave girl, the good girl, the storyteller, however you want to put her, is saying, yeah, I remember, yeah, I remember. He finally does remember and fights the bad guys again in that really crappy style editing. Like one punch will have like 5 edits to it. Meanwhile, you have the good guys trying to protect Emma in the bed from the people trying to give her nightmares. The Pathfinder guy, the blind guy, he's running to start something so that more good guys can come into the hospital to fight these bad guys off to protect the girl that's in the hospital bed, while Ink is fighting the bad guys protecting Emma's soul there. Until eventually she recognizes it's her dad. What happened to you? They hug. She wakes up, finds out her dad's by her side, and then in the back you see the good spirits, the blind guy and a few of the others that were there protecting the hospital bed, standing behind watching. Now, I can appreciate the idea of dealing with landscapes, trying to delve a bit more into, trying to have a bit of a deeper story than the typical direct-to-video movie. It's the guy trying to save the day and fight some bad guys. Or here's the evil AI computer, we gotta stop it. Or here's an alien invasion, we need to stop it. Or here's a slasher film, he's killing everybody, we gotta go kill the slasher. I want to do something a little bit more unique, a little bit more off the beaten path. I can appreciate that. But I think the acting isn't that good across the board. I think the acting is fairly mediocre at best. I hate the filters they use on this, the look of it. I said that earlier in the review. It's distracting. It's a soft focus where everything looks fuzzy. It looks like someone put Vaseline in my fucking eyes. It feels like I'm watching. I need to clean my fucking glasses. And oh no, they're clean enough. It's just the fucking filters. Because trying to give that dreamlike state. But the whole movie looks like that even when we're not in the dreams. I swear it looks like that even when we're not in the dreams. Unless I was so used to watching it in the dreamscape that it blended in with the real life scenes as well. But it looked like the whole movie was done in that filter style. And maybe that could work for a scene, but not for an entire fucking film. I don't want to watch a fucking film where I gotta keep taking my glasses off. I keep doing this and I realize, oh, it's not the fucking glasses, it's the fucking movie. Looks like a shitty Hallmark Channel movie. God, sometimes some people, like, this film did not need those ugly as fuck filters. Soft focus. I can barely see as is with my fucking eyes. That's why I need glasses. Don't make me have it be a tougher sit to see your fucking movie. So I hate the filters. I hate how fucking fuzzy everything looked. I don't need Vaseline in my fucking eyes. So like the edges will be like especially fuzzy. And when I said I can appreciate ideas when Ink is fighting the good guys in Emma's bedroom, they'll knock something down and then it'll fix itself right back up. They'll smash something, then the thing fixes itself back up and be right where it used to be. Okay, interesting idea. That they seemingly interact with something, but at the same time it's still only a dream world, so it would still be there in the real world. The bad guys, some of the way they look, where they have like some kind of weird glass plate in front of them, and their faces kind of twitch and stuff, like a weird Vogue Back's Headroom type of thing. I can appreciate that. The music, I think the music is rather good. But yeah, I couldn't get into the father. I had no sympathy for the father. Again, anyone that's not, I don't care what the reason is. But if you're not going to see your fucking kid that's in a coma, and literally you have to be tricked into it by, I make a car hit your car and then you're forced to go to the hospital. So the father didn't really, that father at that time didn't earn anything. I did see the future one for finally deciding to remember. I mean, he had to be told to remember, and then he remembered, and he's okay, I'll fight for my daughter. Surprised he didn't use his fucking nose to stab people. But yeah, just the designs of Ink himself and the nose was ridiculous. The filters were ugly to look at. The budget was fairly low, and you could tell the acting wasn't that great. So I was not much of a fan of this film. I can appreciate what it was trying to do. It did get a bit of a... I know it got a bit of a following for a bit. It got some positive word of mouth when it came out. Good for it. Good for the director. I don't know if the director... I think he did one or two other things, but I don't know what else. But yeah, this wasn't for me. It wasn't my cup of tea. So, if FreddyLit, if you liked it, that's cool, but ain't for me. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.